I'm just so annoyed, y'all. Like, I just spent 30 minutes doing a photo tutorial showing you how to edit this photo, and for some reason with how it saves for my OBS, it didn't save this at all. So this was what we were going to get, the edit from beginning to end, and this is how the final result was. I'm so annoyed. This is the third time this has happened this week. I feel like I'm just cursed and I shouldn't even be doing this anymore. Like, oh my goodness. So let's see if I can edit this again and enjoy it, and we'll see how this goes. I'll still save the original too, so we can just pile them up and see what we think at the end. So originally I also talked about how my photo was set up. I'm wearing a salt and pepper outfit that's going to be at Romp. It has the harness and collar and cuffs. It has the bodysuit as well as the stole. I'm also wearing Izzie's lipsticks and freckles as well as the blemishes and body veins. And then I am wearing the Veechi Kabuki eyeliner. It also gives like an under eye Nylon Outfitter Lumi Skin and the Truth hair. What is this one called? Elias. And then you can't see the other stuff I'm wearing. I'm wearing like a robotic arm, and then I have some knit cable socks. I'm using the Axis poser, like the Axis HUD poser with the Anna pose Satima 2. It's a breathing animation pose. I use these a lot whenever I'm just voicing or when I'm just on my platform. I like to just sit on these poses. And then if you want to pause the screen and copy my lighting for my shadows and my ambient occlusion, as well as my depth of field and glow. And then my sky preset, though I will be also putting this on in the description below. These are them as well if you want to copy these numbers too. Now then, let's get to editing again and see if we can recreate what we did. I'm very fortunate because I also saved this in a PSD, so we can also take all these off and show a before and after, how we got from here to here. So let's see how we can recreate this. I'm so annoyed. We are going to go on over here to snapshot 1 though, and then we're going to go to image, adjustments, and then rotate. Oh, sorry, image rotation 90 degrees clockwise. And then we are also going to zoom out. And this is the avatar itself. I'm going to hit Control J and get started. Now, honestly, I really liked how this looked. I have the luminosity on like the specular map high on the face as well as the body, just so it gives it like more of a realistic tone to it. This video hopefully will redeem myself from my last video I did where I was trying to make things look a little bit more realistic. I didn't like how they turned out, so figured I'd do this again and hopefully it looks a little better. I'm hopeful. If you don't like it, it's fine. You don't have to watch this video. But this is my now 5th time recording this damn video because I did a photo yesterday, and the first time I had no voice and I loved it, and then the other 2 times I just hated how they turned out. This morning I did another one and I ended up hating how that one turned out, and then I have this one as well. So we'll see how this goes. I cannot believe that I have to do this one again. So we're going to go in first with the dodge tool. We have our midtones, shadows, and highlights. Highlights go like a little bit beyond than what you want. It kind of like takes away the detail in your skin. So you don't want to do that. Midtones, I feel like, are really good for neutral skin tones, or like a lighter nude skin tone, a peachy tone. So we're going to just lighten it a bit, and we're going to have light coming from this side over here. We wanted backlighting over here. So I'm just going to try to keep shadows over on this side of the face while highlighting the rest of the body more on this side. And we're also going to make sure to go in and highlight this beautiful bodysuit and stole. Make sure that it gets like the representation it deserves, because it is absolutely stunning. Then go on in down here. Mess with these a little bit too. just to add a little bit of light. And then we are going to take our brush tool and we are going to go to soft light and pick a color we'd like to have in that corner. So I want to go from, like, I did yellow earlier, but let's go more for like an orangey tone. And then just do it a few times there. Then we're going to go into screen, lower it drastically to like 11. And then add it a bit there, because any light that is going to be back there, they will also have an overlay going past that beam, like a little bit of residual light on the edge, so it's good to have a bit there. And then a little bit of color dodge as well, so we can fully solidify that light. We are also going to go in, let's make sure I have a background layer of this hair that before the lighting, just so I can actually capture it all. Hit Alt click if you ever need to remove it. Oh, it looks like I had cat ears. That was cute. And then I'm also going to add down here to the shoulder. And I'm going to go to the brush tool. What I did was the selection tool, by the way. This is it right here. The quick selection tool. And then I just captured. If you do it without the lighting, it's a lot easier. That way you can just get the specifics of what you want. Oops. Or else it'll take over that whole backdrop like that. So that's a lot easier that way. But now we're going to go to this top one again. And we are going to shrink our brush by hitting the left bracket. And we're just going to use color dodge a little bit on the hair as well, just to add a bit of highlight so we know which direction the light is coming from. You can do a bit of dodge as well. Maybe a bit of the highlight dodge now that it's light enough to do it without blowing out the light too much. There we go. Simple. If there's any odd spots, we can go in and blur it out a bit. I wanted to blur the edges anyways. I feel like blurring it out a little works really well for hair. It helps make the photo seem more flat and not as digital. Okay, now we are going to go in with the burn tool. If I'm taking frequent breaks, it's because I'm sick. Sorry for that. I just want to make sure I'm not coughing at y'all. I'm always sick, if you couldn't tell. That's just how it is. It's something I'm used to. So, no pity or anything. It's just my normal everyday. Okay. We're using the mid-tone shadow because that's more like a darker shade. And then if you want to do like more bronzer and contouring, you can do the actual shadow itself. Brings out the undertones of the skin out a bit more. It's pretty dark. I didn't realize I raised my opacity so much on it. So let's go like a little darker. And we're going to fix a little bit of this. Let's go back over here and use the dodge shadow just to raise that a bit. We're going to go back in on the face and just mess with this little bit. So we want to like darken the cupid's bow just a little. Add some laugh lines because we are happy people. And we're going to be going in liquify in a bit as well too. Just going to lighten up the edges of the cupid's bow, and at the end of the nose, I'm going to lighten up some of the under eye bags just so we can add it a little darker underneath that. A bit more shading. There. And then also, this is probably not a normal thing, I'm going to take the smudge tool, I have it pretty low, and I'm just going to smudge around the nose because I don't like the little lines that show up there. I think they look bad. And that's just Second Life noses. That's just how they are. I don't know if it's just the Luca or what, but just removing it completely. There's no need for it. Same around the lips. I'm just going to smooth it out just because I feel like that's how lips should be in Second Life. I don't think we really have those edges actually there unless like you're like doing lip liner. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I just want to do that around the nose a bit before I go into liquify. So we're going to hit Control J and start another new layer and go into liquify. we're going to go to 100%, or you can just use the magnification tool there. And we are going to just mess with our eyes, nose, and mouth a bit just to edge it out a bit and make it a little softer. Okay, I had to pause again, sorry. We're going to go right on in and just be a little subtle with it. If you mess up, you can always undo. I like to have a little bit larger of a lower lip, and just to make it look a bit more like a smile, since I do have the smile lines there. I'm also going to lift the brow just a little bit, and then lift the edge of the eye just so it doesn't look as cartoony. Hopefully this looks okay and you guys aren't just like, oh man, that looks like crap. Stop editing, Rachel, Cassie, whatever my name is. Mid-tone, I'll add a little bit more shadow there. And a little bit of shadow under the chin, define that a little bit. We don't want to do too much. She's glamorous, so we don't want to do like crazy realistic shadow underneath her eyeballs or anything, like make her look aged like I normally like to do. I love to add imperfections, but this is like one of the few times where I shouldn't. I want to, but she's supposed to be all glammed up, so. How are we looking so far in comparison? It's getting a little close. Let's add some blush now. We're going to go into multiply, and then let's get a nice red. And then we are just going to paint it on her cheeks slightly. Just a little. Add a bit of rouge. Add it on the shoulders, arm. Just help color the body a little bit. I'm actually already liking it more, so that's a good sign. While I look at it, you should have seen me with the other videos, though. They were like, the photo I did today was pretty much 40 minutes of Cassie hating on herself. And that's what I was going to name it. I just hated it so much. I was ragging on myself. I was being really demeaning to myself. So I had to stop for the night and take a break. I'd missed my medication the other day too, so I think that also played into it. I'm good and leveled out now too, but that was just a mess. We are just lightening around the boobas a bit. Make sure we have the shading realistic. Darken around this arm a little bit. I guess it'd be good if I didn't hit the wrong button. And now let's finally play with our levels and stuff. We're going to go to exposure, and let's mess with the offset a little bit. Offset, the exposure itself, camera correction. We're not going to do too much. We're going to be very subtle with this. I really like how this lighting already looks, so I don't want to do too much to it at all. Let's go into photo filter, and we'll go to cyan, just to help kind of lower the redness of it just a little. I'm going to have it about like 19%, 18%. And then I want to see how this looks. I'm sure it's probably going to be like way too shadowed. Oh, it looks really pretty in black and white. Holy crap. But with luminosity, oh, I loved it in black and white, honestly. Let's try brightness and contrast. It's always good just to kind of mess with it and see how you feel. You can always delete it if you don't like it. But I don't want anything too severe. I know I keep saying that, but just with how she looks, I'm pretty happy with the results so far. And then I'm trying to figure out, we'll mess with the selective color a little bit, and we're going to go on up to the reds, make them a bit more defined. And then the yellows, I want to make sure they're not too like a weird yellow. Let's go more for like an orangey look. And then neutrals. Just kind of mess with these. I like this a lot. You can really mess with the different tones of a photo. Like if you have a mostly blue photo, if you want to just kind of alter that to be more of a teal, you can do that. It's pretty cool what you can do with the selective color bar. I like it a lot. One of my favorite things to use. I like that a lot. I'm a very happy girl. I'm just seeing if there's anything that I don't need. Yeah, no, I love it. We're going to go into our brush tool now, and we're going to go on up. You can get this brush on DeviantArt. Just search dust particle brush on DeviantArt. They have a version on there that is free to use for commercial and personal use. They don't require anything for it, which is very nice. Very generous. Oh, I had it on the wrong thing. So I'm going to go down again to it over here. Have it on, let's do color dodge and raise it a bit to like 26 and have it at white. Just so I can have some little specks coming out up here from the light. A little bit over on that side as well. Let's do screen for that side. There. I'm going to just darken a little bit more on the face, and then I'll be happy, I think. Just because I feel like it got kind of washed out. It's a little bright. Oh, it's so high. Ah! Yeah. I am now going to hold down this button, the smudge tool, and go to sharpen. You can lower it or raise it as much as you want. You can protect detail. I am just going to go over my eyes and mouth with it, just to make them pop a little bit more. And then also the lining right here and the stole. And then as an added, we're going to go to filter, we're going to go to sharpen, and then we're going to go to filter, noise, add noise. And let's try to get to where our body is. Make sure it's how we want it up close. So I'm going to set this at about 8, and I think that's good. There's one thing that I feel like is too bright, and I'm trying to figure out which one it is. It might be the curves. Yeah, let's lower the opacity just a bit on this. We'll go to like maybe 65. Yeah, I think that's a happy medium. And I think I'm done. So hopefully I recorded this right this time and I can go watch more Bake Off. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'm sorry for my rambling today. I am a mess. So I hope y'all had a happy weekend and I'll see y'all later. Bye.